Hi, it's Travis White with the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. I'd like to tell you a story about my wife, Sue Ellen. For many years, she worked in the publishing industry, publishing technical reference manuals and databases for scientists and engineers. Scientists and engineers who were creating new ideas or creating new products. And she'd often go out to interview her customers and talk to them and try to understand what kinds of information they needed and how they wanted it delivered. One day she was interviewing an engineer who was the head of a large engineering team at a large Fortune 500 company. And there were a number of patents on his wall in his office. And she was looking at the patents and asking him questions about them. And one of the patents was for the airbag that goes into a car. And she said, "Oh my gosh, you invented the airbag." And he said, "Well, the team that I was working with invented that." And she said, That's an invention that saved thousands of lives. How did you come up with that idea?" And he said, "Well, we tried to answer a different question." And he said at the time there was a lot of research going on how to ameliorate, how to alleviate injuries and accidents and automobile accidents. And the question that was being asked was, what causes injuries in an accident? Was it the steering wheel? Was it the windshield? Was it the dashboard or something else? He said that his team took a different question. They asked the question, when do injuries occur during an automobile accident? They did their research and they found that almost all injuries occur within 3/4 of a second of the impact. So they said to themselves, all we have to do is protect people for 3/4 of a second. How hard is that? And they did some research on airbags and other things that would cushion impact and cushion the blow of an accident for a short period of time. Ultimately, they developed the airbag. So people often ask me how to be persuasive and how to be creative. One way to be creative is to think about the questions that you ask. And as this story illustrates, the researchers ask a different question, not what, but when. And you think about it, there's only a few fundamental questions that you can ask. Who, what, where, when, how, and why. Ask those the next time you're in a session, you're thinking about a product, or you're thinking about a campaign, or you're thinking about marketing messaging. Shift the question and ask questions that might not be on people's minds. This is often a good way to create a new idea or a new product. Sometimes it will lead you down a blind alley and there's no result from it, but oftentimes it will help you come up with new ideas that are very creative, that can help you create a new campaign or a new product. So it's like Pablo Picasso once said. He said, computers are useless. All they give you are answers. Think about your questions. Think about how to ask different questions. That will help you be more creative. That will help you be more persuasive. So that's the Persuasive Communication Tip of the Week. See you again next week.